Welcome to your complex metabolic workout number 2. For this workout, you will need a foam roller, fitness mat, water bottle, heavy set of weights, and a low bench or stack of books to complete one of the warm-up exercises. As a reminder, make sure you pause and review the disclaimer. If you don't agree with it, you must not complete this workout. We'll get started with your warm-up with your foam roller, so have that handy. Also for your warm-up, you'll need that stack of books or low bench. So grab your materials. We'll start by foam rolling your quadriceps, the front of your legs, your thigh muscles. So rolling out onto that foam roller as if you're in a plank, but with the foam roller positioned below your thighs, and then you'll roll from just above your knees to right below your hip bone so that you are rolling out any areas of tension in your quadriceps in the front of your thigh muscles. So keep this going. Rolling back and forth, not rolling on your joints. And continuing here until you find an area of tension on one side of your quadriceps. So maybe you want to focus on your right leg first. When you find that area of tension, sticking just to that area as I'm doing right here in the video, rolling back and forth over that muscle knot. And if you need to, lifting the opposite leg to increase the intensity, and then continuing to roll from hip to above the knee to roll out that area of tension, and focusing on any areas on the other leg as well, so either leaning into it or, as I'm doing here, lifting the opposite leg to increase the intensity to help work out that area of tension. And then once you've rolled that out, you'll roll again from hip to above the knee to continue and finish out that foam rolling. You're always welcome to spend some more time. This is just a good little warm-up for you for your quads. And we'll move on from there together, unless you need to pause, and go and roll out your hamstrings. So same idea here, we're just rolling on the back of our thighs, going right below the glutes to right above the knees. So again, not rolling on our knee joint. Rolling both legs together, looking for any areas of tension, any muscle knots that might exist in the back of the thigh muscles. Choosing one leg to focus on, getting that knot out by leaning into it, and then if you need to, lifting your opposite leg to add some intensity by increasing the weight load on that other leg. And again, once you work that out, rolling from above the knee to right below the glutes, and repeating this process on the other side for any areas of tension, any muscle knots there as well. Before, of course, doing both legs again to finish out this hamstring foam rolling section to warm up the back of the thigh muscles, and going on to foam roll your glutes. To complete this foam rolling move, you're going to place the ankle of one leg on the thigh of the other leg right above the knee. So here I'm rolling out my right glute because I have my left foot on my right thigh. So trying to really lean into that, trying to roll on a diagonal to really get the piriformis muscle, which is a key muscle there in your glutes that can become tight. And then of course doing the same thing on the opposite side. So again, for this routine, I'm giving you about 30 seconds on each side, but spend as long as you need to make sure you're feeling well warmed up before we go into the rest of our active recovery routine. As a reminder, these are just 3 warm-ups you can do with the foam roller, but you can also work other areas of your legs. So check out the bonus materials linked in the PDF for this workout. All right, so we'll move on to a half kneeling hip flexor stretch with a rotation in our rear foot elevated. This is very similar to our first active recovery routine, but we're just going to have our back foot elevated. So here I have that left foot elevated and my right foot's forward, so we're going to be stretching the hip flexor on the left side. Lean into that here, palms come behind your head, and then turn towards the right, towards that front leg, and we're just going to hold. Hold this stretch for a total of about 30 seconds. remembering to keep breathing. You should feel this hip flexor stretch in that left leg, and also you should feel a little bit of a quad stretch because of your foot being elevated. So we'll hold this a few more seconds here. If it feels too intense, you can change and not have that rear foot elevated, go back to what we did originally. And we'll switch legs, having our left foot forward, leaning forward here, and turning towards that left side so we get a stretch on the right hip flexor. So holding here for those 30 seconds. If you're not feeling this in your right hip flexor, make sure you're leaning forward a little bit more. That will help. And if it's too intense, again, for that back foot, you can always take that back foot off and do this move with your back foot on the floor. Holding for a few more seconds here to finish this stretch. Keep on breathing. And when you're ready here, turning back to center with control, and then getting ready for an open half kneeling stance with an ankle mobilization. So we're going to warm up that ankle. What you want to do is kneel on the floor, place your right foot on the floor, 90-degree angle here, and then we're going to lean towards that right foot, perfect, and hold here for 15 seconds to get a stretch in our inner thigh and in our ankle. So holding a few more counts here. Perfect, and releasing back to start. And going back into that stretch, staying on this right side. Holding here for 15 seconds. Breathing the whole time. Feeling that stretch on your inner thigh and ankle, and then back into it here. So this is the third round. We're going to do this 5 times through. So feeling a nice little stretch in your ankle and in your inner thigh. Back to start. 2 more times here, leaning in. So it's okay if your right knee goes over your right toe. If you're really leaning into this, that's okay for this stretch. Just be mindful of how your body feels. Come out of it. And one last time on this side before we switch sides. So really getting a good stretch here, holding that. And releasing, and we'll switch legs. So placing your left foot on the floor, that 90-degree angle, and leaning into it for that stretch. So stretching your inner thigh on the left side and your ankle. Holding for a few more counts here. And releasing to come back to start. Back into that stretch. Here's number 2. Remember, we're doing this 5 times each side. Holding, breathing, feeling that stretch in the inner thigh and in the ankle. Back to start, and back into the stretch. Hold here. And back to start. Perfect. Last 2 times, so leaning in here to hold that stretch. Coming back up to start, and back into it one last time. So hopefully your inner thigh, your ankle, after this last time through are feeling a lot more mobile. And we're going to prepare for our next move. So coming up here, perfect, and we're getting ready for our inchworm. We'll do this move 4 times, but remember this is the warm-up, so take it at your own pace. Come up nice and slowly to standing to get ready. Stand nice and tall, and then we're going to come down here, forward fold, walk those palms out into a plank, walk them back in, and come up with control to standing. Perfect, and then go down for number 2. And again, you might want to slow this down a little bit depending on how you're feeling. Don't come up too quickly. Here's number 3. Walking those hands out, high plank, walking them back in, and we'll do it 1 more time. If this is too much for you, you can always pause before you stand up. So walking it back in here, we will stand up all the way this time because it's our last time. And once you finish your last inchworm, you want to head over to the wall because we're going to do a forward and back leg swing by the wall. So head over to a wall here. We'll start by working our left leg, swinging our left leg. So we want our right hand on a wall for support, and our right foot will be supporting our body. And then we're just going to swing that left leg back and forward. That's 1, back and forward for 2, back and forward for 3. That's 4, last 4 here, last 3, last 2, last 1, and switch sides. So body weight is in your left foot and swing back and forward. That's 2, your right leg is swinging. Here's 3, here's 4, here's 5, last 3, last 2, keep the core tight, and last 1. Perfect. One last move is hopping forward and back 10 times each side and hopping side to side 10 times each side. So getting ready here, shifting your body weight to your left foot, the one you'll hop on, and then hopping forward and back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch to the right side and hop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shift your body weight back to your left foot. We'll do a side to side hop here. Ready and go. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand right and hop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Your warm-up is now complete. We'll actually continue right into your workout. So for the workout, what we're going to do is 8 repetitions of each of the following exercises, followed by 60 seconds of rest, and we'll repeat that for 4 rounds total. So grab your heavy set of weights. We're going to get ready and start off with our alternating reverse lunge. What that means is stepping back into a lunge on one side and then the other. So make sure you have those heavy weights in your hands. We'll get ready here. Standing up nice and tall. Stepping back with the left foot in 3, 2, 1. Reverse lunge left and right. Number 2 left and right. Here's 3 left and right. Here's 4 left and right. So you're halfway through. Step back left and right. Here's left and right. 2 more times here. Remember to press through that front heel when you come up to standing. 1 more time each side. Perfect. Keep those weights in your hands. We'll go right into a deadlift for 8 repetitions on each side. Make sure that you are standing with your feet hip width apart. Getting ready and hinge forward at your hips. Come back to standing. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Halfway through. This is 5. Think about having your shoulders over your knees. Last 2 here. And last 1. Perfect. Moving right into a high pull for 8 repetitions. So standing with your feet hip width apart, holding those heavy weights. We'll come down into a squat and then bring those weights up. So bringing it down here into that squat and then up and on your toes. That's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Last 4 here. Side view, make sure you're not rounding your back. Last 2. And last repetition here. Perfect. Moving into our squat with a press. So you're going to have your weights up by your shoulders and then we'll squat it down here. Press the weights up overhead. Palms face together. Here's 2. Here's 3. Keep it moving. This is 4. And 5. Don't round your back. Here's 6. Final 2. And last 1. Perfect. 60 seconds of rest here. So this is a good time to put down those weights. As you can see, this workout moves very quickly. The purpose of the workout is to get your heart rate up, so you might not feel like the weights themselves and the reps that you're doing is really enough to get you to fatigue during a given set, but you should be finding that you are out of breath when you get to this 60 seconds of rest and you're grabbing some water, taking some time to take a breather before we repeat that workout. So reminder of what we did our alternating reverse lunges, we did a deadlift, we did our high pull, and then a squat with the press. And we're going to continue that pattern starting up again in about 15 seconds, so make sure you are getting ready. Grabbing those weights, preparing for that alternating reverse lunge. We'll end up starting again on the left side. And we'll start it up in about 5 seconds here, getting prepared. And stepping back on the left into a lunge, press through the right heel to come to standing. Step back left and right, that makes 2. Here's 3 and 3. Notice my thigh is parallel to the ground or as close to it. Halfway through here, this is number 5 and 5. My knee is not going past my toe. 6 and 6. Last 2 each side. And last 1 each side. Perfect. Moving right into our deadlift again for 8 repetitions. So getting ready, palms face you, and lowering it here, bringing those weights down to the floor. Go, and back to standing. So you're thinking about having your shoulders, this is number 3, right above your knees. Here's 4, halfway through. Here's 5, bringing it down as low as you can. 6, last 2 here, without rounding your back. Last 1. Perfect. And moving into our high pull for our second round. 8 repetitions, palms face you, getting ready, going into that squat, and then up on those toes for the pull. Squat it down. And pull. Here's 2, up on those toes. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Here's 6. Last 2. And final 1 here. Perfect. Last exercise of this series, a squat with a press. Getting ready. Shift your body weight to your heels and squat it down. Press it up. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Last 4 here. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1, perfect, and taking a rest here for 60 seconds. Getting some water, toweling off if you need to. You are halfway through this workout now because you have 4 rounds total to complete, and we've already done 2 rounds. So mentally prepare yourself. Think about how you're going to make sure your form is looking good when we go into these last 2 rounds, as you might be feeling a little bit more tired than you were in the beginning. So just mentally preparing, grabbing water if you need it. And now is a good time to consider grabbing those weights again. You have about 15 seconds left for this rest period. Our first move is going to be your alternating reverse lunge. So grabbing those weights, mentally preparing, we'll step back on our left foot first. In 2, in 1, lunge back left and right. Perfect. Here's 2 and 2. Here's 3. Press through that right heel to come to standing, and 3. Halfway through on this side and on the other side. Here's 5 and 5. Here's 6 and 6. Really step it back on the left for 7 and 7, and 1 more on each side. Perfect. Moving into our second exercise, our deadlift, 8 repetitions. Palms are facing us as you get ready, feet hip width apart. and hinge forward at your hips here. Press through the heels to come to standing. That's 2. Here's 3 and 4. Keep that back nice and flat, don't round it. Here's 6, so we have 2 more of this one. And last one. Moving right into that high pull for 8 repetitions. So remember, this is a squat, and then up on your toes, leading with your elbows, pulling the weights up high. Palms face you, and go. Squat it down, up on the toes, pull it up. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Notice my back's not rounding. 6. Last 2. And last one. Perfect. Moving into the last exercise of this third round, a squat with a press. So your weights are at your shoulders, palms facing you. And squat it down, press it up. Here's 2. Here's 3. Keep the body weight in your heels. This is 4. Halfway through. Last 4 here. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1. Perfect. Taking a rest here. This is your last rest period. You're going to be preparing for your your fourth and final round. So you've completed 3 rounds. We'll move into the 4th and final round after this rest period. So grabbing some water, mentally preparing, making sure you are ready to go, catching your breath during this rest period, giving your hands a break, so not holding the weights the whole time. A few more seconds of rest here. I'll give you your warning when we have 15 seconds left. And now it is your 15-second warning. So after this 15 seconds, we'll go into an alternating reverse lunge, starting again with your left foot stepping back first. Getting ready to step back in about 5 seconds with that left foot. In 2, in 1, go. Press through the right heel to come up. Here's 2, and 2. Third one on the left, pressing through the right heel. Perfect. Halfway through on this one. Final 4 each side. Perfect. Not letting that knee go over the toe. Last 2. And 2. Last one each side. Perfect. All done with lunges. Let's go and kick those deadlifts out of the way. Last set here. Palms face you. Feet are hip width apart. Getting ready and go. Hinge forward at your hips. Return to standing. Here's 2. Here's 3. Side view. Make sure that your back is flat. This is 4. Here's 5. And 6. Last 2 here. Send those hips back. And last one. Perfect. Done with deadlifts. Last set of your high pull for 8 repetitions. So remember, it's a squat, 2 going up on your toes, getting ready, and go. Squat it down and up on those toes as you lift those weights. Here's 2. Here's 3. And 4. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last one. Perfect. Last exercise here. Bring those weights to your shoulders, palms facing you for your squat and press. And squat and press. That's 1. Squat it down. Press it up. Here's 3. Here's 4. Last 4 here. Keep that back straight, not rounding. Last 2. And last 1. Perfect job. Put those weights down. You can cool down and foam roll. You did a great job with this workout. Take some notes about how you felt doing it so that you can refer to them later. You will not do this workout a second time in our challenge because we only have 1 more week, but you can definitely do it again on your own. It's a great way to get in a quick, efficient workout where you are getting your heart rate up and getting your muscles to burn some good calories for you without taking a ton of time out of your day. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in your next workout.